Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, when we talk boxing, people that understand and pay attention to boxing more than just a casual fan, and casual fans pretty much are probably the ones that you're probably doing it right. Because the more you know about boxing, the more you get upset about it. That things that are just kind of like not unfair or unfair in boxing. So many things that's going on because there's just no commission overseeing things. And so, people can pay people and things just happen, right? And it's just not fair. And, we have a doping issue in boxing, and it's a contact sport, right? It's like, somebody gets killed pretty much every year. Most of the time, more than one participant every year, right? In a sport like that, it's just not running next to somebody, right? Or shooting a ball, kicking a ball. It's hitting somebody on their head, causing concussion, which in normal sports you have concussion protocol. In boxing, you don't. So with that being said, this contact sport with a lot of impact, a lot of concussion going on there, you would want to make sure that these guys, especially these guys, are not doped. But the more you hear about it, the more you see that these guys are letting these people go through, and that's all over the world. But right now, we're going to leave Canelo out and Jarrell Miller, right? These guys, 6 months doping and had more things in their system. Canelo, 2 times clenbuterol. Jarrell Miller had the whole damn thing. Jarrell Miller is officially a dope street boy, right? He gonna move somebody out of the group, right? You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting Erkan Tepper's spot. He ain't getting Povetkin's spot, but he might move in there and get a couple of other people's spot, right? And get in the dope street boys. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell Miller had a whole lot of stuff in there. Dillian White's knocking on the door. We get Dillian White. Now, the UKAD, United Kingdom Anti-Drug Administration or Association, they are suspect constantly, right? These are the ones who let Tyson Fury get that little delayed ban. When you put it, boy, he's already was out for about, 18 months for his next fight. And then they just said, okay, well, those months count when you were doped on Nandrolone and let him get away with saying he had wild boar, didn't investigate it, right, in the system. The ones that Dillian White, before his fight with Oscar Rivas, they was caught doping 3 days before, was able to have a private meeting without Oscar Rivas and his team, and then decide that they can have the fight without telling the other guy, right? You got dope in your system and the other guy doesn't know. Now, I know people, if you still saying that's okay, then something is wrong with you because you don't want to play fair. You don't want it to be fair. This is something that is absurd and it's criminal activity. Is what it is. You tell the other person, he decides if he wants to go in there with a dope person, right? Now, we know Tyson Fury, right now they're having an investigation into Tyson Fury with this wild boar incident where he was tested for nandrolone, got tested and got busted, and then they said it was wild boar, and now the farmer who was supposed to have given him that wild boar has said, hey, I didn't do that. So now they're opening up the investigation, but they're not going to do anything. They're hoping, just like Ring Magazine and Golden Boy, that no, it just goes away. It blows over. Now, why would you want it to blow over? You came to his house again a year later, and he just told you, I'm not giving you a dope test. I'm not letting you test me. That's doped and a half. I'm not letting you test me. And then I didn't even mention the cocaine on top of it. Right? So that guy, yeah, you reopen it and you reopen the case and you look into it. But if no one is overseeing UKAD, nothing's going to happen here. Look at their track record. Now, speaking of their track record, I want to just read you a little something about another UK heavyweight. Okay, a UK heavyweight. And what was the title of this article? I'm going to scroll up here real quick. UK heavyweight. I knew I'd get popped for steroids when drug tested. Right? Now, the guy's name we'll go into. UK heavyweight Larry Olababindu, right, has revealed his thoughts on getting tested positive after admitting to using 13 different steroids during the fallout to his fight with Sam Sexton back in 2012. Now, 13 different steroids, people, right? War Machine, now a TV and film actor, was pushing for a British title shot at the time when UK anti-drug testers came knocking. After losing to Sexton, the writing was clearly on the wall for Olabamingwu. Explained the situation on Black Eye Barbershop and with Anthony Crawler and Richard Poxon, Oliver was as honest as ever. I kind of knew what was coming on on the night I fought Sam Sexton, right? But they came to my house 2 days before that, and I wasn't in. I kind of thought, yeah, they're coming after me, so I wasn't surprised when I got the test, and I knew I wasn't clear. I hadn't been paying any attention because I hadn't been tested up until then, from 2008 2012. And I was very careful because I wasn't getting tested. I thought there was no need to worry about it. I thought I don't even need to care when I come off the steroids or whatever. So when I got the test, I knew I was going to fail for 13 steroids anyway, right? We'll get to my point. Revealing a deal was struck with UKAD to lessen his sentence. Olabambenio went over several issues during the interview. There I'm going to stop and reread. Right? Revealing a deal was struck with UKAD to lessen his sentence. Okay? Rewind it. Revealing a deal was stuck or struck with, they wrote stuck, but I know what they mean, was struck with UKAD to lessen his sentence. Now, if you go up here and rewind this damn video, I said 13 steroids in this man. Right? And a deal was struck with the UKAD. The same deal that Dillian White got for Oscar Rivas, about to go out there and fight a dude that's doped. The same one they let him get away with Tyson Fury with Wild Boar, and they're not going to investigate him now. If somebody don't investigate UKAD, UKAD needs to be banned. Period. It needs to be banned. That's too many mistakes for the place who are supposed to be checking doping. There's too many. And those are the ones that we know about, people. So they have to be investigated straight up. FBI or whatever British has over there that's similar to FBI, check them, get them out of there, replace them. It's just way too many transgressions to clean up the sport until someone dies. And what's going to happen when that happens, then we're going to all not have boxing. I've done videos about it about a month ago. Boxing is going to get banned soon. These are the examples of what we're talking about, right? Like, as soon as someone's cheating, they're the favorite. I can constantly tell you, and I have been, about fighters who are doped, that the fighter, Deontay Wilder, fight Povetkin, even though he's doped. Mayweather, what are you telling Pacquiao to get a test for doping? Who are you to tell him to take a test? When he said, no, we should take a test. It's the biggest fight in the century, right? So should we be a little bit, everybody on the even playing field and no one doped? No, we're mad at Mayweather for asking for it, right? This is the point in boxing. That's why I call it BTBG. But it's not only that. It's just like people don't care. Once you start cheating, people are down with you. Totally down with you. Jarrell Miller is out here now talking more smack than anybody out here. Dillian White didn't never have to give his B sample. Talking smack. In the heavyweight division, we have like 2 or 3 heavyweights that ain't been doped. But that's it. And we don't like them. Right? We don't like them. Joseph Parker doesn't have a big following. Deontay Wilder's following is very small. Right? People don't really like Deontay Wilder. Right? Anthony Joshua, now, hasn't been popped for doping. But the people who are doped, Dillian White and Jarrell Miller, ask them if Anthony Joshua was doping. They'll tell you in a heartbeat. Therapeutic use exemptions. That's what Anthony Joshua was doing. He'll go there and say, hey, look, I got a cough, or, I got asthma, and give me some stuff. That's what they're saying. Not me. That's what they're saying. But he hasn't been popped, right? And, I didn't like Anthony Joshua because of the simple fact of the negotiations. I know he didn't want to get undisputed. He wants it now because Tyson Fury has it, but he didn't want it the whole time what Deontay Wilder was asking him for. That's the only thing I got against Anthony Joshua. And it's not him personally only. It's him and the people who just didn't want to see him fight Deontay Wilder and kept arguing about other stuff. But he hasn't been tested positive. So he's one of those who hasn't been. So that's 3, right? From the upper echelon heavyweight. Everyone else doped and talking smack. Once you're dope, you need to move back in the rankings. Way back. And work your way back up. You can't, people who are not doping, that are fighting people who are doping, those are the real heroes. But we don't like them. That's the planet we're living on right now. So let's keep our eye on the UKAD and see if they're going to do something about Tyson Fury. Right? That's who they're supposed to be investigating. Now, investigating. We're talking about we got to investigate. You have the farmer right there, old dude who's over there fearing for his life basically because people are bothering him. He's 70 years old. You should investigate that first. And anybody who's messing with him needs to be in jail first. And then you talk to the man, lie detectors for everybody involved. And there ain't no long investigation for this. There ain't no long investigation for this. And you guys have the numbers from back then. But the bottom line, what they're doing right now is not a damn thing, which means we let it blow over. Because what outweighs Tyson Fury being drugged is that he beat Deontay Wilder. So we don't really care. We can't let that be tainted by drugs and all that. But Tyson Fury also beat Vladimir Klitschko, probably on drugs. That's not cool for Vladimir Klitschko. His career is a little bit different. He ain't gonna come back now, but things just a little bit different, right? And this is fair. If and I don't want to get into analogies, but if you robbed a bank 5 years ago and they find you, if you murdered somebody 5 years ago and they find you, it's a crime. Period. So let's see what happens in this sport that we so dearly love. But I'm telling you, if we don't have commissions and some arbitrary people on top of it to guard from people being paid off and ignoring things like that, we won't have a sport soon. Dome Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm about to hit y'all.